Hello, Mr. Pavel Tulaev. We are very pleased to have an interview with you today, and I think we will have a few special questions about you today.
Hello, Chris Roman. You're welcome to Russia. I'm very glad to see you again. You're welcome to ask the question.
And the first question that I will ask you today is maybe a question you never had before in interviews. It's a psychological question and maybe a difficult question. Pavel, you're well known, but can you tell me, who are you? In Russian language, кто ты?
Well, who am I? I am Pavel Tulaev. I should say that I am an orchestra. And I play symphonic music. I like polyphony. I like multifaceted world, and I like diversity.
And can you tell me something about your insight so that people know you better? I heard from you that you are a good singer, for example. Is there a connection with politics, or is that something private?
No, this is genetical. Oh. Yes, when I was a youngster, I was a music fan. I was a guitarist and a singer. I was a vocalist. So when I started my career, my publisher career, as a poet.
This fact that you are also a poet, we will come into this in a few seconds. Because I asked this question about music, because your first answer was that you spoke about an orchestra, you see? And this music is, music is art, and I know we will speak about it later. Art is very, very important for you.
Yes, it is really important.
You wrote a lot of publications, and I see and hear you are very well known in Russia and also in the rest of Europe. In Flanders, you are well known as a very important person from Russia, from the Russian New Right.
As a really important person.
You are well known there. You are well known from the paganism, but you're also well known from the expositions of modern Russian art. You were in the Flemish village of Dendermonde last year. And you organized there a successful exposition. Can you tell me something more about it, please?
About my visit?
The expositions, about yourself,
Yes, I started my career as a poet, as a historian, as a linguist. And during all my life I'm reading, listening to the music and to the world, and I'm listening to people, and I'm studying the world. And considering your question about publications, yes, I've got about 500 publications in 10 European languages.
In 10 European languages?
In 10 languages, some 10 languages. Of course, not every publication is a book, but there are more than 30 books and many articles, short publications in magazines, and so on. I like diversity. And the art exposition is a separate point. I would like to speak about it later.
Okay. So, dear Pavel, the best way to show your multi-level interest and diversity is to show your books and other publications.
Why not?
We will show them one by one, and may I ask you to comment them, please?
It should be a video bibliography.
Video bibliography.
Why not?
I have them here.
New genre.
I will say to the people who are watching this video, these are is not the complete collection of books of Pavel. It's only a small part.
It's a part.
Of what is written. And the first book what I see is here, Pavel Tulaev. You see it. Семь лучей.
Семь лучей. It's 7 rays. This is my first personal book, the collection of my poems and songs. A very intimate, romantic, esoteric book that I do appreciate. And some part of this book was translated into some languages, including Japan.
Well, thank you. The next book that I have here before me, you see it, Pavel Tulaev. How you say that?
К пониманию...
К пониманию русского.
This is a really important collection. When I came back from the United States of America, when I did a course, Russian Culture and Civilization, I has collected all my articles about Russia and Russian soul, Russian idea. So I would like to understand what is Russia, what does it mean to be Russian. And the very important article of it about Sobornos has been translated into English and into Spanish. So this is my first step as a Rusist, specialist in Russian civilization.
Okay. Then I see a book that seems also be very important and interesting. Russia in Europe.
Russia and Europe. This is the problem of the problems for all of us. And this is the item we should discuss in November in your country. Yes, this is the first collection, so-called anthology, collection of classical words from Gertsen, Khomyakov to Danilevsky, Leontiev. Some text has been published for the first time in post-revolutionary Russia. And I has organized a very important conference in Moscow, because from '98 I'm the leader of a circle of intellectuals who discuss these fundamental problems of the European civilization. So it was my first scientific collection, and it was noted in Europe, in immigration, and in the United States too. So this is a really important collection. Now many of these authors are very well known, starting with Danilevsky, the classic, and finished with for example, Gaydar Jamal, who has participated in this collection.
Thank you. Here we come on a brochure. Russia in Hispania. We can say to the people in western part of Europe that Dr. Pavel Tulaev, he speaks very well Spanish, and I can even say more. He is a very great specialist about the relations Russia and Spain. And this brochure is in fact a small result of all the knowledge that he has about these relations.
Muchas gracias. Indeed, this is a very little guide to my doctorate dissertation. Indeed, this is a guide to the film that has been shown at Sevilla Expo in 1992. But I have prepared a very big manuscript about Russia and Spain history, the history of Russian-Spain relationship. And we have made a film. It was shown at the Russian pavilion at Expo. And now this dissertation is finished to be published. It is not well known yet, because I published only parts of it, but it influenced me because, you know, when one person learns language, he discovers other worlds. So I devoted more than 10 years to Spain and Latin America. So Spain, to me, is not just a word. So, and I will use this methodology and ideas in our course.
From where this sympathy, this love from Spain and Spanish culture?
This is a mystery, you know. It was I decided to enter the university, and I knew English language before, so I didn't want just to go on Western studies, and I decided to learn something special, Spanish, for example. And I'm glad, because we can speak English, we can discuss European problems, but especially a very special Western European part, which is Spain and Spanish world.
Then the next book that we see here, you see it, Pavel Tulaev, Veneti, Предки Славян.
Veneti, Predniki Slovanov, по-словенски. This is my first book about old Slavic world. I could say that with this book I has changed or has added something very important to my perspective, my orientation, scientific orientation. It is a long way and it is a very special poem because I have published 4 books about Veneti. This book has been translated into Serbian and Slovenian. Yes, Veneti are pre-sisters of Slavs in the pre-European, pre-historical Europe. Ancient Europe, I should say. So it was, I was happy to enter these kind of problems, and I'll be glad to tell you more when we see in Dendermonde.
Yeah, because I remember when you was in Dendermonde with me, we went to a bookshop there, and we saw a few books about mythology.
Methodology.
You remember? And we see there Celtic, Germanic,
Exactly.
Romanian, Greek
Yes.
mythology, but it's very typical that in the West we never see something about Slavic mythology. It's like
Exactly.
it's like the Slavic countries. It's something like the barbarian world, the non-developed world.
You know, I could say that the resolution of this book is the meeting of Western Venetology with Russian Slavic science, Slavistics. Because we know better Eastern Europe. They know better Western world. So, and now we has united these 2 schools.
But then, so to continue with this here, with this theme, I see here a book also that is Varvaria. Can you come?
He is a
please?
barbarian.
Yes.
My cat, his name is Mars. He's a really barbarian. You know, I have published 8 issues of Наследие предков. Наследие предков is a magazine devoted to the history. And the best articles of this magazine has been united into this collection with a very good name, Barbarians. It is a very interesting period of the history when pre-Christian world has founded different civilizations and tried to conquer Rome. So the history of relation between pagan, pre-Christian Europe with Rome. This is barbary.
Thank you. Then we come to another book. See here, Athena и Ateney. What can you tell me about
Well,
Athena?
Athena is Athena. Ateney is Atheneum. Athena is the goddess of wisdom. There is a very deep and profound tradition of glorifying Athena, which comes from antiquity. And there were several Atheneums, temples and academies devoted to the wisdom. So I just decided to go on this European and aristocratic tradition. Last time you has asked me about Ateney. This short book is a concentration of knowledge about the goddess and Atheneum. And this is an introduction to the magazine Atheneum.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I see we have a visit here.
Yes,
From-
he's always with me. Come.
And here I have here in my hands the origin, how I met a long time ago, how I met Dr. Pavel Tulaev, because I was on a meeting somewhere in Brussels, and I saw this magazine who was there, and it was Ateney.
Yes.
And I was interested in Russia in the time, like I'm today also. And directly I bought this magazine, and very important, I saw that this magazine was in fact very, very good. High level of text
Thank you.
and high level of people who write in it. Really, really high level of everything.
Thank you very much for these good words and this very kind introduction. Yes, in 2000 year, when the new millennium has begun, I has registered the magazine Atheneum. The idea was to gather the head the best parts, the best representatives of Russian intellectual elite in different levels, in historians, philosophers, anthropologists, artists, poets. And we had already some experience with the circles and then with the наследие предков, the heritage of ancestors. And step by step we catched the attention of the European intellectuals such as Guillaume Faye, Jan Bertillon, Pierre Krebs, and so on. So this is the 8th issue devoted to the problem of the white world, the white world future. That it is very important. So I should say that every issue of the Ateney, it is annual almanac, is an encyclopedia of the new right thought in Russia.
Yes.
And step by step it became the thinking tank of the Russian new right and the European new right. So I could say for hours about Ateney. So please have this.
Thank you. Because by the way,
this is another.
I can say something else first. You know people.
Maybe show this one about because this is the
one?
English, yes.
Oh.
Because this is an English.
Okay.
Yeah. You know my.
The white world's future.
Yes. Our Athenaeum is an international magazine, and we try to publish the best articles in different languages, in English, French, Spanish, German, and in Slavic languages, even in Ukrainian. In Polish, in Slovenian, Serbian, and so on. But this is a collection of our original texts from the White World Future Conference. So I do estimate this because it was the first conference when leaders and thinkers of the white world has gathered in Russia. So, of course, there are different points of view. I have my own, but we have gathered to exchange ideas.
Yes.
To look for the truth and to look into the future. So this is a document of our intellectual history.
Okay. So the next is a kind of magazine that's called Slava.
Yeah, this is absolutely new. 1 week ago made. So it is a very small tirage, about 100 copies. But this is called Vestnik. Vestnik is a kind of corporative publication, so for people who has gathered in the conference.
Yeah.
But this Slava is devoted to the Slavic Veche. It is a kind of pan-Slavic conferences in Eastern Europe when we exchange ideas, researchers, plans, books, intellectual club. And this issue is devoted to the 10th World Slavic Congress in Kiev and to the new meeting, forum in St. Petersburg. The latest report of mine is devoted to родная вера с точки зрения или в свете ведической традиции. Native faith in saw from Vedic tradition. So I investigate the difference between faith and Veda knowledge. This is very important point.
Yes.
So, and my wife is speaking about the importance of woman as a mother and wife in the tradition, because now very many women are emancipated. And some women would like to be responsible for their families,
Yes.
for their roots.
Yeah. We see a little question. We see Slava. Maybe you can tell to the people
Slava.
in the West what it means, because we see Slava.
Slava, it means привет or Heil. Glory. Glory. Maybe glory. It is a greeting. Glory. Or Heil.
Yeah.
But it is just traditional greeting. But привет is familiar. This is sacred. Glory to the gods. Glory to the princes. Glory to our Tsar. Glory.
Glory to the Rus.
Glory to our Rus.
Next book It's not your book. It's
No.
but it's it's introduction from Anthony Sutton. At the Orden Chirp ik Kosti.
Well, yes, indeed. You has noted that it's not my book. Of course, we show not only my private publication, but my publications of other authors. That's why I call myself symphonist. I like to listen to, not only to speak. And this is an extremely important publication, because this is the fourth book published by me, by Anthony Sutton, about order, skull and bones. So when I was in the United States of America, one monk of the Holy Trinity Monastery asked me to read or to publish the book of this conspirologist. And I was very interested. So how the order creates war and revolutions, the cult of the order, trilateral, Federal Reserve Bank conspiracy. And this book unites. Yes, I have written an introduction, and it is a dedication to Ateney Sutton, who is not alive already. So many people are interested now about so-called latent structures who rule the world. So as a scientist, I would like to know the truth, and I advise people to learn it.
Yes, thank you. By the way, on the TV channel Russia Today, we saw, because I have it home, we saw an interview with Daniel Estulin, who wrote a book about Bilderberg.
Bilderberg, exactly. Estulin is specialized on Bilderberg, and I'm specialist on skull and bones.
Skull and bones.
Exactly.
So, but I can tell you that this item in Russia is very alive, and that you are one of the leaders of who publish things about these items.
Yes, because I prefer that people should know, not only me. We are not a Masonic circle. We are open. We are free people. We have the right to know things. This is our sacred right.
The next publication here is Streli Falangi from José Antonio Primo de Riviera.
Exactly. You know, you has already mentioned that I'm a specialist in Spain. That is truth. And of course, I started Spanish literature, history. I published a lot of articles in magazines about monarchy, history, history of diplomatic relations. But I also has published two very important books in Russian here. The first one was Masonry by Francisco Franco. Franco was absolutely unknown in Russia. Many books about Hitler, many books about Stalin, but Franco is a well-known dictator. As a historian, I would like to know the truth.
Yes.
And we have published his book about Masonry. It is very well sold. Jose Antonio is another person, very important to Spain, absolutely unknown in Russia.
Yes.
So, I do not make propaganda of Falangismo. I am nor Falangist, neither Franquista. I am Russian Slavist. But people, especially specialists in Spain, should know who was José Antonio Primo de Rivera. This is the first collection of his works. So youngsters and just people's, the students, they read it and discover the real history of Spain of the 19th, 40th, 60s. So this is very interesting book about nacional sindicalismo. Revolución tradicionalista en España.
And then we come by another book from a very famous writer in France, book from Mr. Guillaume Fay.
In Europe also.
And he's not only well known in France, but he's well known in all Europe.
All over.
And I think he's famous.
He's famous.
And this book is the Manifesto Novih Pravih.
Exactly.
This, I see it's an ideological slovar, dictionary.
Dictionary. Exactly. This is the second book of Guillaume Fay we have published here. Guillaume Fay is our friend. He visited Russia by our invitation 3 times. When we started Ateney, we were looking for interesting people to exchange ideas. He was one of the first. He was one of the first. And when we invited him, he has published the book of GM5 about American imperialism.
Yeah.
World,
Yes.
American Revolution. But then, when I made an interview with him, I asked, Guillaume, tell me, what is the very important book of you? What is the book you would like to publish? He told immediately, Pourquoi nous combattons?
Yes.
What are we fighting for? And we did it. Anatoly Ivanov has translated this book. This is our veteran from French into Russian, and I made an introduction. This is an encyclopedia of the New Right. So this way we can know what are the New Right, to read their manifest and all dictionary, terminology. What is tradition, what is archaeofuturism, what is Euro-Siberia, what is race, what is what are many things. So I recommend this book to my listeners to read it in French or in English. This is very well known.
Thank you.
But I am making polemics with him. I'm discussing with GM5.
The next book here.
There are many books. There are some.
We will soon close. It's Pavel Tulaev. Русский concert. This looks a little different.
Yeah, this is another symphony.
This is yeah.
This is a book about music. You know, I told you that I'm a musician.
About music.
Yes, and I devoted all my life. So I was a singer, I was a guitarist, I collected music, and even when I came to Russia, I published tapes and self-made CDs with music, with Slavic waltzes, with marches, and autochtonic folk music. We have organized a музыкальный центр. Музыкальный центр возрождения for Russian music. And once I was invited to write a biography of very well-known state musician and diriger, who is Anatoly Poletayev. He is the director of the state orchestra. Very important person. He started as a boyanist. Boyan is accordion, Slavic accordion, and finished as a director and composer. He has published or produced about 20 discs. Started with folk and finished with very complicated symphonic music, for example, Scriabin or Rachmaninoff. It was a pleasure for me to work with this person. I has taped 17 interviews for 3 hours, every one. Then review these interviews, and then describe his biography. But these are беседы о музыке и культуре. Беседы, talking about music and culture. So this is, beside this, there are video and the music collection. So people who buy this book, they enjoy music, slide film, and symphony devoted to Saint Russia. This is my private gift to this diriger.
High quality. The next book seems to be very, very important. Rudnie Bogi. I think it's not so old. This book is relatively new.
Five years.
When I open it here, you can see that's very high quality of pictures, very high quality, and it looks more like a kind of encyclopedia.
Indeed, yes, you are absolutely right. I am really proud to publish this book. When I did it, I said to myself, now I can have a rest. Because this book, it took me about 10 years to collect all these pictures and about 4 years to get ready the publications. So it combines history of traditional art, This is my article. A collection of 14 artists with 184 pictures with Slavic gods. Because this book is not about artists, about gods. And then there are 96 articles about gods. So, for example, young woman or mother can open the book to see, for example, this Ushas, a beautiful naked woman. But who is Ushas? Ushas is Aurora. Aurora. That's the goddess of the morning. Заря Зареница, traditional Hyperborean god. So then she or he is reading about this god and come back. Some people discovered, after me, that there are, for example, 5 or 6 images of the same god. For example, of Perun, of the Deus. It's very interesting to compare different Peruns, you know, different seeings of traditional gods. So this book is a kind of testament.
Yes.
Testament, and I am proud to give this book to Louvre Library in Paris, to Greek, to Athena, Greek University, to National Museum in Bulgaria, of course to Moscow and St. Petersburg libraries. So this is a kind of treasury, treasury of our Slavic and Russian archetype.
Yeah, but this book is very important because what I also already told, in the West we find nothing about Slavic mythology, almost nothing.
This is Slavic and partly Indo-European, so that's why I call it not Slavic and родные. They are native.
Yeah. I can tell you, for example, my youngest daughter, her name is Freya.
Yes.
I told her that in the Slavic countries we can call her Lada, you know, the goddess of love.
There is a book about a white goddess with runa Freya, the runa Freya. Please show it. This is not my book. It's about Freya, белая богиня, white goddess.
Yes.
Because fertility, the principle of fertility and riches.
Yes.
So this is the name of your son. But modern American sociology calls Freya the goddess of sex. They think about sex, but they do not think about fertility, because these are branches.
Yes.
Branches. This is the real rune.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. This is not my book. This is the book I am studying.
But I can tell you that one day I was explaining to my children, and I used the name of Freya to tell them that in the Germanic world, in Christian mythology, it is Maria. For those who are Christians,
Yes.
In the Germanic mythology, it is Freya, and in the Slavic mythology, it is Lada.
Exactly.
It is 3 different names for
One of the same.
That is important.
No, you're a specialist.
It are not 3 different goddesses, but it's the same. And thanks to this book, this child could understand
what is she.
Yeah.
And you have another beautiful
Very
daughter.
important.
Thank you. Oh, you have Marusia. Marusia is your elder daughter. Maria is the name for the goddess of sky, Maria. This is another manifestation. So you have 2 beautiful daughters, and they have very symbolic names. But show this book. This book,
This
please.
one?
Yes, before.
Okay.
This booklet is my report devoted to the goddesses.
Can you read it, please?
Родным богиням и берегиням. My devotion to the goddess and protectors. This is a very special study devoted to goddess, women, God, feminine gods. Because I study every day and every week, sometimes at nights, the tradition of Shaktism. It is not a political or not only aesthetical but philosophic tradition based on Puranas. In Vedic tradition there is a very rich Shakti tradition, and especially I like Devi Bhagavata Purana. So I could speak a lot of it, but in Slavic world there were goddesses like Mать Земля, Lada, Baba Yaga, and so on. And every woman has in his life these aspects. So it should be understood and studied. This is the book about. It is translated into English.
Oh.
Yes.
So you can see it.
And this is Scythian goddess on the cover. This, I just say 2 words about this. This is just a collection of the hymns.
Gimni Bogam.
Gimni Bagam. This is a collection of my hymns, poems, but there's a sacred poetry, hymnography to the gods. So this is not a maybe just a book, a publication. This is a sacred tradition. I usually just give this book as a present to my private friends.
Okay.
It is not on sale.
I see on this book a painting. I think is it from?
Yes, it was. Yes,
painter?
this portrait was made by Andrei Klimenko, famous Russian painter, and he gave this portrait to me in the name of the 50th anniversary. And I have the book of Rodny Bogi in my hands. So this is a symbol, more a symbol than a portrait. And I'm proud that he did it. So we glorify our national or traditional gods, pantheon, our Slavic
I can
pantheon.
tell to the people that I met last year. I met this painter, this famous painter, and thanks to Mr. Pavel Tulaev, and we can see an interview with him today still on Euro-Rus TV.
Yes, it is posted. Yes, we are in contact with Andrei Klimenko, and I organized some expositions of him. He's very talented, he's a real genius. I call him genius of romantic style, and he's well known now, and he will be world known in some years.
Yes. I hope it will be well known before his death.
Yes.
Like it is
Oh,
usual.
thank you very much. I do my best. By the way, I'm a collector of art, and I have some collection here at my home. And when I buy paintings from my friends, I help them, and then I organize exhibitions. Sometimes they are bought, but mostly expositions are for propaganda, for cultural and spiritual renaissance. So this is not commerce. This is enlightenment. That's why I was given an order, crest. It is an order devoted for protection of national traditional art.
Yes. So thank you. So I repeat for the people in all the world. In fact, there's an interview with Andrei Klimenko. You can see it on Euro-Rus TV.
Yes.
And then we go to the.
This is a catalog. Yes. This is
Rus-
just. Yes, exactly. This is a catalog of one of the expositions I organized, because this is another genre of my symphonic activities. Yes. 84 original paintings, Chris. 84. 3 big halls in the exposition with Klimenko, Alshansky, and Pingachev. Rus исконная. So people, thank you very much. People come to our exhibition, enjoy paintings, listen to the music, exchange ideas. We give the possibility to poets to promote or to proclaim their poems. We organize youth fashion demonstrations and singers concerts and so on. This is our way to be. This is our way to be proud and free and to be ourselves. And you're welcome to be with us.
Thank you, thank you. So then we come to the next question. We just spoke about a few of the publications of
that's enough.
Pavel Tulaev, and I think we can continue for a lot of hours. But then the next question, and we come back to this magazine, Ateney. Pavel, can you tell me please, why did you stop this excellent, super excellent magazine? Why you stopped with it?
Oh, this is a difficult question, a very difficult question. 1 year ago, I was ready to publish the 11th issue. But I was attacked from different organizations and from some structures, and they wanted to discreditate and even to stop publishing our magazine. Why? Just 3 or 5 years ago, we were enjoying absolutely freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of exchange of ideas. And many people, intellectuals, came from Europe just to express themselves. But then appeared a law, so-called law, against so-called extremism in mass media. And some unprudent and not specialists in history and philosophy see extremism, so-called extremism, in separate phrases. For example, they just take one keyword like race or Jew or something like this and say that this word can be understood as this phrase can be understood as an extremist out of the context. I don't think this is a serious way, but the idea of this state organization, not only state but also latent organization, to stop free exchange of ideas. For example, we speak about race, which is just natural. They call us racists. We speak about nation. They call us Nazis. This is stupid. I am not Nazi. I'm not racist. But I want to know what is a Russian nation. What is the difference, for example, about races? It is we live in the free modern world. We are not in the prison. So unfortunately, some structures would like to forbid the Ateney. So, and I, by the way, not my books are not, and neither of my publication is forbidden. But I had to protect the right to speak of my, not friends, but people who were invited or just came to Russia. I gave them the possibility to express themselves. And by the way, the book of Avdeyev, devoted to anthropology, is under persecution. A scientific book about anthropology, about race. I think this is a very dangerous tendency.
It's very dangerous because I see that some latent forces in Russia and some other forces, they want to make Russia like the European Union. Let's see, we have a lot of, in the European Union we have a lot of laws who forbid free speech.
Especially for example, some of the so-called forbidden books have tirage of 500 or 600 copies, or at least 1,000. But now you can find in internet anything. And people, for example, visit some sites, thousands of people a day. So I don't find it very clever to forbid historical, philosophical, and anthropological studies. This is not a good idea. This is a kind of inquisition.
It's a kind of inquisition, and it will have a boomerang effect. That's what you say.
Exactly. Of course.
It can make you. It can make you even more popular.
Yeah, of course it is. It is a kind of advertisement. For example, Avdeyev's book about white race is under persecution. It is forbidden. People are looking for Avdeyev, forbidden. And find the whole text and download.
And finally, you will. And finally, on this moment, I don't know where, but finally, you will find this book underground.
Well, there is no nowadays. There is no underground. We have no frontiers. We have internet. This is a kind of game, you know.
Yes, underground can be internet.
So
underground can be internet.
Yes, some structures would like to control internet, Skype. I don't know what social forums, but this is a totalitarianism.
But, yes,
this is a real.
By the way, I read when I was in Flanders. I read that some Russian forces want to forbid Skype now in Russia.
Yes.
In Russia, because with Skype there is less control.
Yes. So I am really preoccupied by this phenomenon, which is not legal.
Yes.
This is not democracy,
Yes.
and it will work against the democratic state.
Yes. Yeah. But,
So
and then we come. Back
thank you. So Ateney is alive as a forum. So we discuss our ideas. Thank you very much. And we discuss our ideas in Euro-Russia forum and in private sites. For example, I have my private webpage, Tulaev.ru. Some of my, not every, but some of my publications are posted on in 8 or even more languages, in English at least. So you can follow the itinerary and see what's new.
But the website of Ateney stays online.
Yes, because I even didn't copy this. No one of the so-called forbidden never was published on internet. Never. No. Because we have so many contacts. It is just human to communicate. I'm a university teacher. I'm a scientist, I'm a researcher. I'm interested to know what is Slavism, what is Europe, what is the roots of Europe, and so on. I would like to exchange my ideas. Why not? Why not?
It is like if they want to put you in jail for terrorism, for example, if they want it, they also can put in jail for the Soloviev.
You know, even so-called specialists about extremism didn't find any call to terrorism, to extremism. They didn't find. They has written that some words can be understood out of context as extremist. So no,
this is not because
it is a civil judge, but I'm not only one. There are youngsters who are persecuted for playing games, so-called extremist games, for I don't know, speaking about nationalities, because they have their own opinion, for example, about Chinese. But they speak open about, for example, the truth about war in Caucasus. They don't want, for example, Caucasus mafia to control Moscow. These are serious problems. But sometimes youngsters cannot be academician. They cannot use polite phrases. They just say "fuck off" to people because they're young and not educated. And people say, "I would like my people to be free and protected." So
So then, if you want, we come to the last question.
Yes.
And it's a question to what has to be with what will happen in Europe, in Flanders in November. End November, I think it will be. End November, Euro-Rus will organize a big seminar, and the title will be Europe and Russia: Common Roots and Perspective. So we see that you will be invited there as the guest speaker, and about this Congress and about the idea, have a question, if you want. You are one of the founders, in fact, of the Euro-Russian Forum. You are one of the first men of the modern times who was thinking about this idea, how to develop it. Can you say me something about it? Your opinion, please.
Yes, I will answer this question with pleasure. The idea of Euro-Russia or Euro-Rus is a kind of archeo-futurist project. It is a dream, because we people, we like to look for the future. We have projects, we have plans for the future. and I could say it kind of utopia, or just a dream. So one of the persisters of this project was Guillaume Fay, who was speaking about Euro-Siberian Empire. We do not want to create an empire tomorrow, and we call it Euro-Russia. So it is a kind of intellectual forum, a club, forum for exchange of ideas, who will discuss modern and actual and future problems of our Euro-Russian civilization. As a scientist, as a historian, I know that this civilization do exist. And but some, for example, NATO forces would like to divide Russia and Europe. They create special anti-Russian military blocks like Guam. They want some little puppet or marionette states like Georgia state to attack Russia or Chechnya. These local wars are directed against Russia. And we think about new world, about freedom, about our future white, enlightened, positive, good world where people can live in peace and exchange their ideas without frontiers. How Arthur Clarke was thinking about. Like we cooperated in cosmos. Like president of ex-USSR, they were thinking about European defense, pan-European defense. Europe from Paris to Ural or Vladivostok. Security, about European security. So we are just continuing this very old tradition. We would like to stop war, stop religion wars against Catholicism and Orthodoxy, against Germany and Russia, against between Ukraine and Russia. But some people would like to pay money for these wars, to make the fire bigger. You know what I mean?
In the magazine Slava, I wrote an article that some Ukrainian people like. I think that they like to.
Yes, they are attacking us.
They're attacking Russia.
Attacking Russia. Yes. So we are for peace and cooperation. We are not extremists. We are very positive. Let us think what we would like. Let us do what we want inside the law, inside international law. And your seminar is a very good opportunity to let me tell people the truth, what I think as a free researcher. This is my private point of view, and I would like just to share it with you. So, Chris, I'm really thankful for you and for your and our listeners that they are with us for this very interesting video bibliography. I'm really thankful, and I hope we'll meet in Dendermonde, and we go on our studies together in the seminar about Europe and Russia, common roots and perspectives.
Mr. Pavel Tulaev, thank you for this interview, and we see each other at end of November in Flanders and maybe in Dendermonde. Certainly in Dendermonde.
Yes, long live Euro-Russia.
Slava Rasti.
Slava.